So today we're going to talk about exponents. This is in Unit 3. We are starting quadratics officially, but we're still doing Algebra Crash Course. So this is going to be in a 3.1, and that's basically just called Algebra Crash Course, okay? We're basically just talking about all the stuff you should have learned back in freshman year of high school and 8th grade possibly. So obviously the basics, right? When it comes to exponents, this would be nothing new for you guys, okay? You have the power slash the exponent up here. Right? It's right there. You have x times itself y times. Okay? And of course your base. Now, what that means again is that you have, let's say, 4 times itself 3 times. That's basically what it's saying. For example, the first one, which would be 4 times 4 times 4, which would be 64. Okay? You'd have negative 3 squared, which is going to give you negative 9. Remember, this is negative 3 times 3. Okay? It is not negative 3 times negative 3 because the negative is not included. Okay? In order for that to be included, what we have to write, okay, would be negative 1 times 3 squared. That will actually give us a positive 9. Okay? Hopefully you guys remember that. Now, when you write with exponents, okay, you obviously have 2 3s. That gives me 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 A's. And then 1, 2, 2 B's. Okay, and that's how you write with exponents.
What if you can positive 9? Did you multiply it?
No. Because you have one, remember, because one's negative, one's positive, negative is not included on that 3. Remember, so basically what this one's saying is it's saying negative 1 times 3 squared. And so you do exponents first. You do 3 squared, which is 9, times negative 1, negative 9. Make sense? That's why all the order of operations warm-up we did yesterday in the debate was so important. Because it's now showing you what can happen when you don't understand your parentheses and your order correctly. And how the calculator can make mistakes. If you type this in the calculator, you're going to get negative 9. Not positive 9. You have to put in parentheses. The calculator doesn't know the difference. All right. Now, from there, I'm going to jump over to zeros before we go down the a U shape here. Let's talk about zeros. So, zeros, on the other hand, zero exponent rule, states the following. Any number to the 0 power will always equal 1. 4 to the 0 equals 1. 8 to the 0 equals 1. 1,983 to the 0, you better believe it equals 1. And even negative 2 to 0 equals 1. It doesn't care. It doesn't discriminate. You throw 0 at the exponent, you're going to get 1 back every single time. Could be 10 billion, could be a trillion. Doesn't matter.
Can it ever be a negative?
What do you mean, negative?
Never mind.
Okay. Okay. So, any questions on the first two? This is pretty straightforward stuff. I don't imagine it's going to take us very long to get through this. All right.
Zero.
Moving on to product rule now. Product rule, okay, states that if I have two numbers with the same, two bases with the same variable or numerical or numeral, the exponents can be added. Reason why is because I have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Count them all up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it would be to the 7th power. Right? Okay. So, in conclusion, they have to have the same base value or variable. But you kind of get the idea here. Okay? So, for example, we have 4 to the 5th, 4 to the 6th. That's going to give me 4 to the 11th. Okay, 5x times 7x to the 6th. So first you do 5 times 7, which is 35, yep. And then you have an invisible 1 right here. So then x to the first, yep, x to the 7th. Okay? We have 6a squared times negative 5a to the 8th. What's that going to give me? Negative 30a to the 10th. Very good. Okay. Then we have a to the 3rd times a to the 4th. A to the 3rd is going to be, plus that would give me a to the 7th. And I think you see where this guys is going. 12x to the
12.
Yep. And then 10 times 3 is 30. A to the 5th. Very good. All right. All right. Any questions so far? No? All right. Let's talk about the power rule next. Okay. The power rule, instead of doing with addition, deals with multiplication with exponents. If I have 2 to the 3rd squared, that means I have 2 to the 3rds. And then expand these out. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And that gives me 2 to the 6th. Okay. So, for example, we have 4 to the 2nd to the 3rd. The shortcut is just to multiply the exponents together. So, it gives 4 to the 6th. I find these to be a lot easier. 2, 3 to the 3rd, that gives me 2 to the, what? 9th times 2 to the 5th. Add them together, and we get 2 to the 14th. 6 squared, 0. Doesn't matter, because it'd be 6 to 0 equals 1. 2x to the 4th, 8. Now,
Wait, what's number 2?
1.
Okay.
Sorry, I know it looks like it belongs to 13. It's just 1 because it's to the 0 power. That applies to even product and how many times you want to take the power of something. When you add 0, the whole thing goes to 1. Fails. Okay? 2x to the 4th to the 8th. Now, you need to be careful on these. I would rewrite these as 2 to the 8th x, and what's 4 times 8? 32. So then if we multiply those across, what's 2 to the 8th equal? 256 x to the 32nd. I kind of squished that in there. Let me rewrite that.
What? How would you?
It's, yeah, because you have to distribute the exponent to all the parts of it.
That's a 30 what?
32. I'm going to rewrite it because it's got squished. Hold on. There we go. Okay, that 8 went to the invisible 1 that was right here, and it went to the 4 here. It distributed the exponent among all the multiplication in there. I know, it looks weird. But does everybody see what's going on there at least? Okay. And then lastly, whoops. Last one is negative 3 squared to the 4th. Okay, that gives me negative 3 to the 8th. Since the negative 3 is included, that will actually give me a positive number since it's a even exponent. Okay, that makes sense? All right. Any questions on power rule? All right, let's talk about now quotient. So if the product rule adds, what do you think the quotient rule does? Subtracts, right. Okay. If I have 3 to the 7th, and here's what's going on when we do that. We have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 on the bottom. Anyway, the pens. Hold on a second. Those all cancel. That leaves me with just 3 times 3 times 3, which is then 3 to the 3rd. Okay? Okay. Now we have 12 to the 10, 12 to the third. Okay. Subtract those, we get 12 to the 7th. Okay. We do the next one there, 18W to the 7th, 3W to the 6th. We get 6W. You still reduce numbers normally. Okay, for this one, we're going to have a fraction still. Let's see, 4 over 16 is going to give me 4 in the denominator. The y's end up canceling when they subtract. And the x to the 8th and x to the 5th give me x to the 3rd. If the number is positive, it goes up top after subtraction. If it's negative, it goes in the bottom and then becomes positive. Okay, does that make sense? All right. And we have 28 over 12. This is just 7 over 3. X to the 10 over x to the 4th gives me x to the 6th. Okay? Now, finally, the last one is the negative exponent rule. Okay? The negative exponent rule states 3 to the negative third can be rewritten as 1 over 3 to the third. All you're doing is moving the negative to the bottom. If it's negative on top, it goes to the bottom. If it's negative on the bottom, it goes to the top. Okay? That's how we switch around exponential value. Okay? Same thing for this. We have 1 over a to the 8. This one would become 4x to the 2nd power. Okay, 4 here would be negative 3, so you're going to get 9 to the negative 3rd, a to the 6th. You would then rewrite this still as a over 6 divided by 9 over 3. Okay? Okay? 12W negative 2, 3W 8 becomes 4W
Negative 6.
10.
Oh, 10. Oh.
Yeah, it's 6? No, it's not. 12 divided by 3 is 4.
Oh, yeah.
And then you would put this on the bottom, so your final answer would be 4 over W to the 10th. Okay?
Isn't that negative 2 minus 8? Negative 2 minus 8. That's negative.
Yes, because negative 2 minus 8 is going to give you negative 10.
I thought that was negative 2 like minus negative 8.
No. The 8's still positive down there. So it'd be negative 2 minus 8.
Wait, so then what would negative 2 minus negative 8?
No, because it's
Negative 2,
Cancels it out,
and then
right?
like
it would cancel out and become 6.
So you have to do minus 4.
Yeah,
No, look,
I'll show you in a
look,
second. Hold on.
Negative 2, and then you're still minusing the 8, so you
That's
still
what
go that
cancels
way,
it out. In the
and then it goes to negative 10.
What cancels?
All
Yes.
right, and then the last one, since it's on the bottom, it's negative, we're just going to bring it up to the top, so then it's just W to the 5th, and that's it. All right? And that's it for those.